Alright, I got a game from actually a few minutes ago. Um, Played this game in the Shima, and uh, basically had a pretty good game, and decided to make a quick video. So not divisioned up with anybody. Kind of experimenting with some video magic here. I'm gonna accelerate the beginning of the game and basically speak to what's going on once we get into position. This is probably 3 or 4 minutes. Well, probably 2 minutes just to get into position. Basically spawned in the middle of the map. It's only 2 DDs, and yeah. So as soon as I get into position here, and you can see I'm already calling out my radio location, which some people understand and some people do not. Sometimes you call out locations, people say, "What's there? What's there?" Oh, I don't know. So I'm gonna get out here and try to spot for this flank, and I immediately locate this Henry, who is kind of an annoying position already. Unfortunately for me, I'm a little bit behind my guys. I mean, the Worcester and I guess the Hindenburg got up here almost before I did because I had to come from the center of the map. The reason I came over here is because I'm one of only 2 DDs, and the other DD kind of spawned on the northwestern side, if you will. So we get somebody who smokes up immediately. I saw HE coming from there, so I'm not really sure who it is. I get radared. I think there is a Worcester right behind that smoke. I don't think he's in the smoke. If you look on the mini map, he appears to actually be behind it. So probably hugging that island in a typical Des Moines / Worcester location. And I say that the Moscow could be there too. So I call out this Henry a bunch of times, and this Republic has turned out. Ooh. And we get the Akazuki in a devastating strike in his smoke. And I get a couple more torp hits. Interestingly, during the game, I didn't notice the actual additional torp hits. I was kind of hyper-focused on this Henry, and my guess was this Henry was torping my smoke, so I'm not going to stay in it, unlike that Akazuki. But yeah, we got about 59,000 between that DD, and it appears I did hit the Worcester. So if he wasn't in the smoke, he was very close behind it. Looking on the mini map, yeah, he got hit hard. So take that any day of the week. In today's meta, smoke equals torps. I do not hesitate to torp smoke. I do not hesitate to close the distance with smoke. Yeah, and a devastating strike can take out the first DD and wound a very powerful ship. The Worcester is no joke. It's a ship I actually like. It's a ship I have. It's a ship I got immediately when it came out. But I won't talk about it too much because I'm actually here to talk about the Shima. The Shima is my most played ship. I have slightly over 1,500 games. The Republic actually gets that Henry, so that frees up this flank, and that's a good thing. You can see that the Worcester, the wounded Worcester, is retreating. the two battleships are now retreating, and the other Worcester. Actually, you know what? It looks like the Worcester that I hit with torps was not the one against the island, so that was the second Worcester. So it looks like we've actually pretty much wrapped up, if not secured, this flank. Put 3 sets of torps out on this guy. He was accelerating and turning. Or accelerating when I launched the torps. He ended up turning anyways. So it's kind of hard to gauge where he was. So I kind of sent them out separately and spaced them accordingly, hoping that I would get at least one set. And I managed to get another 3 torpedo hits. No flooding. And finish him off with my high explosive. So just like that, we got 2 kills, a Shima hiding in smoke, a 3/4 health Yamato, and we also got a couple of torp hits on a Worcester. I don't believe it was that Worcester. I believe it was the low health one. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell. Probably the low health one though. So yeah, pretty good start to the game. Sitting on about 108,000 damage and 80,000 damage from my spotting, which is very good. I like to consider myself a pretty decent DD player. A couple things I try to do outside of sinking ships is spot and take caps and contest caps. I think those are a couple things that unfortunately you don't necessarily get from every DD player. So yeah, I try to do my part, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I do love playing this ship. I love the low concealment. I like reading the playing field here and then reacting accordingly and not just fighting it out. I mean, that's fun too, but I think you can be a little bit more surgical with a ship like the Shimakaze. I do not believe the Shimakaze is a wall of skill ship, as so many people comment on. I actually type in chat, good job on the east side, very nice. These guys have been supporting me, and I am kind of sometimes a mini-map calling out people whore. Like, I will call this guy out several times just to try to get people to focus on him. Sometimes people get all bent out of shape at it. In this case, I mean, you can see the fire coming in above me. These guys are actually focusing these guys down, and honestly, this is what wins games. It is what it is. You support your DDs and you have decent players. I think it makes a really huge game. I think, personally, DDs are one of the most important aspects of the game, and unfortunately, there aren't many good DD players. I don't say that lightly. I consider myself a decent DD player. I probably have in the neighborhood of 5,000 plus tier 10 games in DDs and all sorts of DDs. Most in the Shima, a bunch in the Kaba, a bunch in the Yu Yang and Garings. But I've also played the Grosavoy and the Z52. I would say the Z52, I've probably played that or the Grosavoy the least. I still have a fair amount of games in all of the above. So I like to think I can speak from experience when it comes from TDs. But again, I don't think the Shima in particular is a wall of skill ship. As I was saying before, you hear it all the time. I see it all the time. You get a dev strike on a battleship or a cruiser, and they're like, "Whoa, wall of skill." Rah, rah. I'll tell you what. If you think it's so easy to play a Shima in today's meta, jump in it and rock on, right? Rock on with your badass. It's not. You can see in this game, there's a Worcester, which I did pretty much tear up. a Seattle, a Moskva, and another Worcester, plus a Missouri, all of which have radar. Not to mention, there's a Gearing and an Akazuki, both outgun me. The Akazuki outguns me stupidly. It's not even, it wouldn't even be a fair fight. And the Gearing, if I'm kiting away, I can probably hold my own. Definitely has a rate of fire advantage, but like I said, it's not my first game in the ship, so I can hold my own if I get the ability to kite away. But I mean, outside of this, there's a lot of radar. There's a handful of ships that have 40 seconds of radar, and another ship that has 11.7 kilometers of radar. So, yeah, if they use their radar correctly, they can make my life a living hell. You'll notice in this game, in the very beginning, I was radared, and it happens a couple more times in this game. But again, I don't think the Shima is by any means an easy ship to play. Matter of fact, I don't think DDs are easy to play, considering the current meta and all the radar. Some people disagree. I think it's easy to say wall of skill or blah blah blah. You got it easy if you're not familiar and you actually don't play these ships. But if you do, I think it's fair to say most people, any DD player worth his salt is, I think it would be fair to say that, yeah, I mean, there's times when you can have a great game, and I think this is a pretty decent one. It's surely not my highest scoring game or anything like that, or for that matter, one of the games where I got a ton of achievements or whatever. But again, I think this just shows some well-rounded DD play, and it was a fun game. And as a DD player, I appreciate the Worcester that followed me up. He manages to get a couple kills in the end of the game, but he's very, very late, and I wouldn't say he was at the forefront pushing. This Worcester was the Republic early on, did some fairly good damage, and took out that Henry. Those are the guys that I really appreciate. So anyways, we're pushing back into the cap, and our goal here is now to cap this. There is a Moskva and a Yamada left in the vicinity, and of course this annoying Gearing. Again, the Gearing definitely outguns me. We have similar health. He's also got dangerous torpedoes. I wouldn't say they're as good as the torpedoes that I have. But they are long range and pretty hard hitting, so neither of us would want to take a torp right now. I'm actually torping the Moskva. It's a little hard to tell what he's going to do. I know if I was him and my cap was being contested, I would push into it and I would radar immediately. Kind of pull a bonehead move there, and I take a cheap shot at the Yamato, trying to secure that kill. It had taken our Worcester a couple shots, and he is a fair distance away. The Worcester isn't exactly what I would consider a sniper at long range. It's if the boat is parked next to an island or something like that, yeah, you might be able to land shots fairly easy. But open water, even a battleship at range, can be a little tricky. So I just tried to help him. Yeah, I know. I tried to steal that kill. So we got 111k damage. We've managed to have 6 torpedo hits, and you can see our damage for spotting continues to go up. Unfortunately, annoying spotter plane sees me, and I know the Gearing is going to take some shots, and because he has that spotter plane there, he's probably going to smoke up. And as I smoke up, I get radared. And you know what? That is what it is. The Moskva was right on the edge of his radar range. He literally radared me and then went out of radar range. It didn't really matter because the Iowa managed to pick him off. I got radiolocation on this gearing. He's in his smoke. Now, I said it earlier in the video. You know, you don't sit and smoke. We saw what happened to that Akazuki. I smoked up when I shot at the Henry, and I fired a couple salvos, and I got out of there. And there's a reason I did that, and that's because this guy knows he's radio located. It's telling him he is located. It's not like he doesn't know that I know where he is, or at least the vicinity. And with 3 torpedo launchers and 15 torpedoes, I can set out a wall of skill? No, come on. Oh, look at that. And what do we get? We get a gearing sitting in smoke. God bless his soul. Our Iowa and our Worcester are talking back and forth, and basically say good job, and I say thank you. Yeah, so hey, what are you gonna do? 3 kills, 127,000 in spotting damage, and 120k in damage, including the 3 kills. So not a bad game by any means. This is one of the reasons I love playing the Shimakaze. It's a fun boat. I love the sneaky find a weak gaps, run the gap, flank ships, torp them. I just love this playstyle, I really do. The current meta is brutal. There's no doubt about it. So, here again, I got radiolocation. I put 2 normal spreads and a wide spread, and as soon as I do that, the Missouri appears. I was thinking he was a little further back and was hoping to torp his position, but as you see, I know right now that my torps aren't going to hit him, so I fire at him, try to bait him in. Sometimes this works. Ironically, I land a fire on him and on my first salvo, which is just about unheard of. And again, the Shima isn't a gunboat. It doesn't have a high rate of fire. It has a decent rate of fire, chance of fire. Blah blah blah. Can't speak. And you can see he repairs that fire. He's pretty low, and unfortunately for him, he's also fighting a Worcester. So I'm gonna keep the pressure on him and try to help my team. He's probably gonna reset us, I would think. And I land another fire. I don't even know what the odds of that are. And at the same time, he's using his heel, but the Worcester's hammering him. He's on fire. At least 1 fire from myself. And he goes down. And got 17 seconds. So I did 127,000 damage. I did 137,000 in spotting. And we are going to cap this before the time runs out. So, pretty awesome game. Again, nothing crazy spectacular as far as achievements or high damage count. But damn, just a good game, man. People supported me, pushed up with me. Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of makes me smile. So doesn't the drink that I'm working on too. But so, yeah, pretty good game. I'm not gonna complain. Base XP 2504, and the Worcester was right behind me with 1961. Public behind him and the Montana behind him. Iowa, you'll notice, was pretty far down. Like I said, he got into the game, or he got into the fight pretty late. 7 torpedo hits. We got credit 100 of the 181 cap points, and again, we did 137 in spotting damage. So we only managed to take 7,000 damage, earn 500,000 credits, and 7,000 captain XP. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.